Okay. For 3 eggs, maybe a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half of sour cream. You don't need much. Okay. Then you can put a little bit of salt in there if you want. At the Ritz, when I did this for banquets or for brunch, I would love to do the egg station. It was like one of my favorite things to do. One, because we could put a big fat tip jar out of there and I walked home with extra $200. Easy. You do 500 people, you each throw a buck in there, we split it, you're making some good money. And then, it's funny because you're cooking right in front of the gas. So we would have all this set up, and I would have my eggs, but they would already be mixed together. And so the overnight cook would do this. Crack 3 cases of eggs, put in the sour cream, and mix them all together. You do want to mix this until the eggs are homogeneous.
Homogeneous?
Homogeneous. Remember that from the dairy discussion?
I remember the word.
Everything's the same, so you don't have little bits of white and little bits of yolk. Okay, so there's our eggs. We have our burner. I'm just demoing this over here because it's a little bit easier. Do you know how to set these up? So this is a cassette burner. These are used in most hotels and restaurants or off-site. They're great. The butane or propane will have a little notch right here, and it'll fit right on top of the groove. And then you just lower it, pull it towards the connector, and then you turn it on. Just like that. And it does that. See? Perfect. Every single time. You can smell it. There it is. Come on, sweetie. You know you want to stir it. It's cold out. If that doesn't work, is there a lighter down there? This is not Admiral. It probably got a little dirty. Yeah, there's some dirt in there. That's why that's not lighting. You'll burn it all out. So if you do wash these and stuff gets down in there, it'll clog the pores. You may have to do this to burn off, but they don't normally do that. Okay. So what these are like super hot. It's probably 21,000 BTUs, British thermal units, so they will scorch. Really, so you have to cook on a low flame and let your pan heat up a long time. Okay, you want some good heat inside the pan when you're doing this. Don't just put a cold pan on and start it going. Okay? I think it's just the paper there. Okay? So we have that. That's hot. Now I'm going to put a little bit of butter in the pan. And you don't want the pan too hot because you don't want to brown your butter. The way the omelet should cook is very softly. And Escoffier, Auguste Escoffier, was a chef, and he is accredited with our uniforms. He's accredited with our brigade system and a lot of things. He's kind of the one that wrote it all down. And he describes an omelet as scrambled eggs in an envelope. So that's a classic French omelet. Okay, so scrambled eggs in an envelope. So we have our pan and our melted butter is on there. Once our butter stops frothing, we can add the egg. And we're going to move it around. We're going to move the eggs around in the pan, around this way, and then back and forward this way. So if you can pat your head and rub your stomach, you can make an omelet. It's not that hard. Okay? So eggs go in, move it around. We're gonna cook it until it's almost set, but still loose, and then we're gonna stop. Then we're gonna put our fillings in, and then we're gonna fold it over and put it on the plate, and then I'll cut it and show you what it should look like, okay? And there's a difference between an American omelet and a French omelet. The American omelet is cooked very hot, very hard, and the proteins are very tough, and the egg generally cracks when you put it. When you try and fold it, it'll crack on that seam. That's not what an omelet really should be. So we've got the eggs in there. The pan's been on the heat for a while. I'm going to put the eggs in now. And what I used to do was move the eggs around with a rubber spatula, and I would move them around like this, and you can see they're already cooking, they're already browning, and I would do it like this. You can see they're coagulating. But what I found over time by accident was I would do this with other people, and I would do this, and somebody would take my spatula away from me when I was making this, and I would be left with like nothing, and my eggs would be cooking. But I happened to find a pair of chopsticks behind me, and I would use those because they were at the bar. But Caitlin and Sterling got me these to use. These are the Star Wars chopsticks that you can make omelets with. You just go like this. And you want to break up the eggs just like this. And you can put some Star Wars theme music on there. But you can see I'm breaking up the curd. Very, very small. You can see the egg is cooking, see? And I'm going to stop just before it's set. I'm going to stop now. And I'm going to turn the gas off and flatten everything out. So there's still residual heat in here. Okay. And the heat is off, as you can see. And this is so this would be called like an egg set. So we'd make these and we put all the fillings in with some scallions in there, a little bit of feta in there. This is where you put, I used to do brie with smoked salmon and chives. You can do any kind of cheese or anything you want in there. And then it would set, and then you would put it on the plate. You come over here, and then you just fold this part over because it's still cooking on the bottom. There's still residual heat on the bottom, so it's setting everything, and then you fold it over. It should look like a baby's bottom. See how smooth that is? Okay, then you tap it out on the pan, and there's your omelet. So that is a traditional French omelet. And now let me cut it in for you so you can see.